What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Break Room. In this week's episode, we're going to be taking a look at our 3/8 heavy-duty ratchet. We're going to be putting this thing to the test, measuring it, seeing the back drag, all of that good stuff, and we're going to test it to failure. So you guys, check this one out because it's pretty cool. Okay, guys, like I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be taking a look at our HDR 614. That is our fixed head comfort grip 3/8 drive heavy duty ratchet. Today in this video, we're going to be measuring the head thickness. We're going to be measuring the head width. We're going to be measuring the back drag, as well as taking this tool to failure to see what the failure points are of it. We know from independent tests that this ratchet will exceed 200% of ANSI, so the numbers will be extremely high on this ratchet. We're looking forward to knowing what the final outcome of that is because we honestly do not know. We know it's extremely strong. We know it's over 200% of ANSI, but we want to know the final number of what it fails at. And today we're going to be taking this ratchet to failure. There's a popular YouTube channel that has done tests on hundreds of different ratchets, and his data is quite impressive through the tests that he puts them through. And we've got some kind of baseline numbers to kind of see how we stack up against the competition with all of these categories that I mentioned, from the head width to the diameter to the to braking strength. So we kind of just want to put ourselves in there and kind of see where we fall in the lines of this whole entire totality of this ratchet comparing against the competition. So I'll put a chart up on the screen, and that way you'll kind of know what the baseline breakage numbers are for a lot of the ratchets. It's already had tests done on it by this YouTuber, and that way you'll kind of know when we start testing ours where we fall in those parameters. The next thing I want to do is measure the width of the head as well as the thickness of the head and the back drag, and we'll go over here and do that. There's also charts here that I'll show you as we do it, and that way you'll kind of see where we fall with this ratchet in those tests. So let's measure this thing up, let's check the back drag, and let's take it to failure. Okay, guys, so we're over here at our test bench, and what we're going to do is measure the width of the head. So it'll be from this point to find the widest point. I'll put the chart up here, and that way you can kind of see what it looks like, and that way we'll know how we compare. So I get my meter turned on. You can see we're zeroed out. We're in the metric scale. I'm going to go across here. We are at 30.22 millimeters wide. So now we're going to measure the width from the back of the head to the front of the head to kind of see where we stack up. I'll put the chart here there, and that way you guys can kind of see those numbers, and then we'll measure ours. Okay, you can see we're zeroed out. We're going to go here, measure this. We're at 15.18. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is measure the back drag of our ratchets to kind of see where we fall here. Okay, so we've got it set up in our ratchet here. You can see we're in inch ounces. So we're going to apply a little force. Looks to be between 5 and 6 inch ounces. So that's how much back drag it takes to turn this. All right, guys, we're over here at our test meter. As you can see, we'll zero it out. We'll put our ratchet in here. We'll crank down on it. You'll see the numbers go up. Once it gets to maximum peak torque, it will lock in and flash on there. To conduct this test today, like I say, we're using our HDR 614 heavy-duty 3/8 drive ratchet. To help apply some of the torque that's going to be needed on this, we're going to be using our TH21 extendable handle with our WE26 breaker bar head on it. That's just so we can have a nice smooth torque. Just due to the nature that we know this ratchet is going to go up pretty high, Today I will be zip tying the ratchet to the breaker bar head to keep that thing from flying off and breaking a bunch of crap in here and possibly injuring myself or breaking a camera, which is something we don't want to do. So we will be using safety glasses, and just due to the torque of this, and we know it's going to be super high, like I say, I will be zip tying it, and I do have another cheater pipe that we can put on here if needed, and that way we can get all the leverage we can get. So let me get this thing zip tied on here. Okay, as you see, we got it zip tied to a wrench extender, and that way it limits the chance of this thing flying off and breaking some stuff, because we don't want that. We got our meter zeroed out, and we will start applying torque. And that way we'll know what it breaks out. All right, at this point, I'm going to put my other cheater pipe on there, just so I can keep a nice, smooth torque curve on it. All right, guys, there you see at 305, we had a failure. The ratchet still works. I'm gonna have to go back and, oh, we broke, check this out. It wasn't the ratchet that failed. It was the breaker bar head that failed at 305. The ratchet's bent, obviously, but it still works. So at 305 that failed. So we're gonna keep going. I'm just gonna put it on the pipe because obviously the ratchet's ruined at this point, and let's see if we can break it, because that's impressive. But I want to know what that number is. Let's do it. I'm gonna take it to failure. There we go. $347 foot-pounds before we lost the anvil. You can see how the ratchet looks. It didn't break the mechanism, as you guys can hear, still working. Mechanism still works fine. 347 foot-pounds. So let me show you the chart again just to remind you what the breakage was on the other ratchets that were tested. And as you see, the top ratchet did 310.8. We took this one over 300. The wrench extender failed. We put the other pipe on there. We took it to 347 before complete failure. So that's super impressive. All right, guys, so that's the video this week. So hopefully you learned a little bit about how strong the HDR 614 actually is. 347 foot-pounds for a 3/8 ratchet. Like, that is nuts. Anyway, guys, that's the video this week. Hopefully you liked it. If you do, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Click that subscribe button, and that way you'll always see our latest, greatest content. Check out all of our new tools online at www.themtools. The new 2024 catalog is on there as well. Be sure to check that out. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend, and we will catch you next time. See ya.